Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. If you've been a subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. If you're just passing by and you just happen to bump into my video and this is the first video that you see, thank you. Actually, why am I thanking you? But please do subscribe. I hope that you like the content that you see and you click that subscribe button. So we're in the month of September, and September is Suicide Prevention Month. So the 10th of September was World Suicide Prevention Day. And this year it hit home deeper than it excuse me, deeper than it normally would, because in the beginning of the year we lost a brother who died by suicide. And I was just thinking and just reflecting, this is just a random, I just thought of this randomly and I thought maybe I should just shoot today. As you can see, like I'm not all glammed up, but I think that is not the point of YouTube and having like channels. I think normal, or not really normal, but like discussions should be had, and I am for having discussions. And I'm like, you know what, maybe let me just share and maybe it could help someone out there. So yes, September is Suicide Prevention or Awareness Month, and I know that October is Mental Health Awareness Month as well. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's have that talk. Every 40 seconds an individual ends their lives. That is almost 800,000 individuals worldwide per year. So at the wake of this issue, September and the 10th of September is observed as Suicide Prevention Day, the 10th of September, and September is observed as Suicide Prevention Month. And with the wake of what is going on around us, we use the month of September to spread awareness, to share stories, and to also assist where we can. So what we're going to speak about today is the things that we can do to help with suicide prevention or prevention awareness. And I'm going to give credit to the Happiness Project because I got all my information from their page on Instagram when I was scrolling through all the posts that were made on the 10th of September. So number one, the first thing that we can do is to stop making jokes about suicide, like, oh my gosh, life is so tough, I'm going to KMS. No. You don't know if individuals around you are dealing with mental health or they're actually battling this each and every day. So the first thing we should do is be conscious and stop making jokes about suicide. The second thing that we can do is actually accept that depression is real, and instead of seeing it as, oh, somebody's just acting up, or just being it's a stage of sadness, we can rather reach out and help them and see if we can be there for them. And it's not just acting out, so we need to accept that depression is real. So the third thing that you can do is be there, and I think I mentioned it previously. Be there physically doesn't mean that you have to do something or fix anything. Just be there physically, and just or via telephone, or just be there for that person, to show them that, or remind them, to show and remind them that you are there for them and you care and love them. Okay, so number 4, we can check up on loved ones just to And I think all of these are intertwined. To check up on loved ones, to remind them that they're loved. Mostly our loved ones don't want to reach out because they don't want to feel like a burden. So reach out, reassure them, affirm them, and let them know that you are there for them. The fifth thing that we can do is to stop bullying each other, especially on social media platforms and online platforms, and be there for one another and be kind. Most importantly, be kind to one another, because you don't know what the other person on the other side, or on the other side of the camera or the screen, is dealing with. Be kind to one another, and let's stop bullying each other, especially on social media platforms. The thing that we can do is educate ourselves about mental illness. The more information we consume about mental illness and educate ourselves, the more we sort of have room to empathize with others, or it allows us, or gives us, bridges that gap of empathizing with another person and understanding what they're going through, and not just dismissing whatever that they're feeling and whatever that they're going through in that moment. So yeah, just like that, together we can break the stigma of mental health and mental illness. Yeah, so it just starts with you as well. So let's educate ourselves and be there for our loved ones. Now that we've covered that, and please know that I am not a mental health expert or a health practitioner. I'm just somebody who was affected by it and who just wants to spread awareness. So I'm going to read off posts that I found. Another one that I found that was very, very interesting, and I didn't know this as well until I bumped into this, and because of September. It says, why we no longer say commit suicide. People commit fraud, people commit murder or infidelity. People do not commit suicide. They don't commit depression. They don't commit their mental illness. So the term commit suicide was presented in the 20th century when it was considered a criminal act in certain places in the world. Now it has been decriminalized, and yet we still use that language. And I think that's why we have these kinds of months, to actually help us correct certain things that we do, and help us on top of helping out the people around us. So she also goes on and says, instead of committed suicide, successful suicide, completed suicide, we can try and say died by suicide, death by suicide. And instead of a failed suicide attempt, we can say a non-fatal suicide attempt. And I think it might seem small to others, but those who are going through it and those who are affected, I think there is a sort of shift, and it does matter to the individual that is actually going through it or has lost a loved one at the hands of suicide. Also, we must also understand that in using the corrective language, it's the delivery of it that matters the most, rather than the actual content. It's how you say it, not necessarily what you say. You can say it and a person receives it in a totally different way because of how you're saying it to them. So instead of being pompous and instead of being arrogant and saying, no, we don't say that, we say this now, how can you yada 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 yada? No. I think it's how we communicate. I really hope that you learned something. A part of me really wanted to make this video just to spread awareness, and to also just, yeah, sort of speak to it. I think if we learn something new, and if something has affected us and we learn from it, and there's something that we can do either to prevent or reach out and spread the word, we should do so. So let's educate ourselves and let's make the necessary changes. I hope that you learned something from this video. I know that this month really I learned a lot. And yes, to those who are going through it, know that you are loved. We see you. and we care about you. To those who have lost a loved one, I'm going to put up contacts in the description box of support groups and description box. I'm going to put the link to the post that I just mentioned in this video. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you liked the content that you saw. Please do comment below. If you have anything to add, I'm more than willing to either be corrected or for someone else to add on to what I have said. If you have posts that you want to share, please do put it down in the comment section. And yeah, have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. Mwah.